Oh, you started the podcast.
Oh crap. That's not what I wanted. Meanwhile, if I can just hear myself think really quick. Hello, everyone. If I can speak English, welcome back to another week of the podcast. What?
Holla. Holla.
Are you having a stroke?
Ha. Holla.
That is Spear. If people, a Spear. If anybody can't tell. Oh, they finally changed it. Sorry.
What?
No, the title of the episode. This was not I Am Here Yesterday. That was It's a Small World.
What was the old title of the episode?
It's a small world. That's what that was. It was a small world. Yesterday I was watching that and I got really confused for a minute because I was like, did I already watch this? And when I watched, I was like, no, I didn't. I don't know what happened, but I guess they finally corrected the mistake that they had. That's always good. But yeah, we're back for another week of the podcast. This time we just went up with one show this time because we ended last week with Dragon Prince. Good anime, not good, not anime, but good cartoon, really good. And I think for repeating sake, there will be another season this year, which is surprising to me. But hey, they have a story to tell, and they're gonna tell it. Good on them. Um,
That's all you had to say, huh?
no, sorry, just I'm realizing that the playlist changed on the music that's playing. I just saw it happen. That's what caught me off guard. I don't know what else to say about it other than I mean, I guess we could. I guess before we talk about My Hero, talk a little bit about something that we both discovered apparently, or at least three of us, your wife included, discovered with Ervil's daughter. Uh, it's really weird. I mean, not really weird, but it's really interesting that there's an autistic character in the show. Um, it got me thinking about a bunch of things, but there was one thought that kind of floated around was, I wonder how many shows in my past have had like a character like that I didn't notice or I saw but I wasn't aware that's what they were going for. Um, because there's a lot of things they create. They can hide a lot of things in the show, and you never really notice it till years later. And you realize, oh, that's what they were going for. And it's interesting that I just stumbled upon it on a wiki, and then your wife, who is a special ed teacher, certified, also picked up on it, and no one had to tell her anything. She just had a suspicion, but didn't want to seem. I think her wording was seem dumb. I think is what she said. Hold up. Didn't want to seem stupid, but I'm going to use the word dumb because that seems kind of harsh. But because I didn't pick up on it, I noticed that she was acting weird. I will say that it was, but I just thought maybe that was just because
Well, she
she's
said she was special and strange and stuff like that, so I kind of blurred out special and strange behavior. It was just like, yeah, that's what he said she'd be,
But I mean, but that's the thing. Most parents will label their child. I'm not saying all parents, but like if their parent, I mean, I thought about this too in a situation. Like, I mean, a parent doesn't want to use the word autistic. I would think, it's a label, and it's a label that makes things harder for them. But it's not like the kid can't function. They just and I guess it's a better word, no better way to say it, they function in a special way. It's not that their fault. They're just unable to process information. At least what some of them are. I'm not sure all the levels of the spectrum, but I know that each one of them has their own issues that you struggle with every day. Some of them are able to function really well. Others have issues, and I guess in this situation, like again, is like I guess one of the things I want to say is that it kind of like I told you this off camera that it kind of brings what she did more into more naivete, and just more into, it makes it more innocent, that she gave magic to humans. Because like I can honestly sit there and say that she probably didn't see any wrong within it, literally, because it was one of those, why don't humans have magic? I will help them and give them magic. If they don't process things, they don't process what somebody would say is the normal, you know, way to process this. They don't see it that way. And I'm not speaking on a professional level on this. I don't know anything. I know that there's different levels, and I think some of it is supposed to be the way their brain works. I don't know what it all is, but yeah, I also didn't know, when I guess when it came to autism, that they also came with, like, I guess hand movements, and that's something that you, hello X hello XOG, that's that's been there since like the start of my streaming career. I think it has, unless I recently put that in there.
Nice to see you, XLG.
I hope you can hear him.
Wait, he might not be able to hear me.
No, I'm hoping I don't have you. He's very faint. I have him boosted. I don't want to boost him too much. I can bring his audio up, that's for sure. Wait, that's not working. Got full blast here. Okay, I brought him up a little bit more, so he'll be louder than me. That may have given him too much power, but we'll see. Did you hear his laugh loud and clear? It's just kind of, seasonal because we're about to enter the month of October.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Oh, what, they were about to be in October?
Yeah.
Okay, XOG, how about this? This is like way louder than me. I wonder if it's the VLC music, but I don't think that's that loud, is it? No, I don't even think the VLC music is playing. How is that not even possible? Hold up. So I see the waveforms, so I wonder if Discord. I wonder if OBS is messing with my settings again because it has the power to do so. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay. Maybe your ears are really bad, XLG. I don't know. You always seem to do this to me specifically. Oh, what's that doing there? That was my bad. Though it's like nothing. You know what? I'll fix that.
XLG says not to show your privates on the video.
That wasn't what was being shown. That's just my Discord. Which can easily be edited out. Hmm. That's not what I wanted. Stop doing that.
6.5 out of 10.
Minimize. I don't know, like really, XOG. I really don't have any control. I mean, unless he wants to yell into his mic, which I'm not going to tell him to do.
And now with Jesse asleep in the next room over.
Oh, my face is like in the mic at this point, man. There's nothing I can do about that. But I can do. I mean, I could like boost it all the way and not mess with his audio and see that it's like better. I feel like this is like a joke with him at this point. Like he purposely does this to me because I feel like I'm the only one he does this to with the audio. I've noticed this is a recurring trend. Like he does this only to me. You know, Stella's fine for whatever reason. I'm good over there. Like over here, it's like no, you're. I had a thought. No, you were talking about Dragon Prince work. I don't really think there's any more I can say. Like, it definitely, Erebos' daughter being autistic does like make things a little bit more sense. But not makes it makes sense. I mean, it just like it makes what she did more innocent. I mean, what she did was already innocent to begin with, but it makes it even more innocent, basically. And also the one horn thing too is like with her being autistic. Okay, well, I mean, the one horn thing could also be a symptom of that too, like a visible difference versus just like a. You see what XLG is asking, right?
Hail to the king, baby!
Okay, whatever.
What does that mean? What did I just reference?
I don't know. You ask him.
He's just checking my levels.
Well, listen here, XLG. Like the Evil Dead 2, apparently.
Oh, okay.
But like XLG, like I mean, this is the best I can get out of him now. I mean, I hope 9 out of 8.5 to or 9 out of 10 is good, because that's the best I can do. I think at this point, it's all up to him on his end. I wonder. No, that wouldn't have anything to do with it.
My problem.
Huh?
Why I gotta make it my problem?
At this point, there's something more I can do. I was just thinking that my headphones are like on a very, very low setting. I don't know if like OBS is taking audio from you, but I can hear you. I had to boost my headphones like to 14 because I usually have it on 6 or 5. No, we were already derailed. Don't worry.
There's no such thing. XLG, can you figure out a way to like give me an excuse to go get my drink from the other room?
Go right ahead.
Oh my god, thank you, XLG.
Man, that was a deep cut on so many levels. Like, I hope you're doing okay, XLG. Haven't heard from you in days, maybe even weeks now. Yeah, but you disappear for like days and like weeks at a time. Oh, you have tests for another job tomorrow? Do you get? Does this require you to practice your English? Or are you fine? I just heard Spirit come back.
Yeah, I'm back. I got my drink now. I'm happy.
Okay, that's good. Just want to make sure. Okay,
What do you mean about XLG's English?
before I think he was retaking. I mean, actually, he could probably better explain this than I could. But I mean, I was helping him, I guess, with conversing in English from the sounds of it because he needed to be able to pass an English test in Canada. This is the actual thing, apparently. Um, he said he said he did good, so he won't have to go back for like 2 years or however how long they need you to take these things. I think it's now he's got a test for tomorrow.
What happens if he fails the test?
I don't think he can fail it. I could be wrong, but
Regale you with tales of fatherhood. Have you heard my past ones? Is that why you're asking that?
I don't know. Like, would you ask? Has he heard what now?
He wants me to regale him with tales of fatherhood.
Not get it. I don't even know. Maybe we spoke it about you have a kid on this podcast before. I don't even remember. It's like so many episodes. I think we're like reaching almost 200. Actually, I wonder how far we are from 200. If I were to actually look that up. So we probably have already reached 200 because I have not been keeping up with the playlist, and I need to do that. Because right
No,
now,
my son is 7 years old. I've come up when he was younger and he would throw up and do a lot of other things. I had some pretty awful tales, and it was like the highlight of the day would be like the new way that my son new creative way that my son found to throw up or defecate on something. He's a little older now, so he's more about like Roblox and stuff like that now.
I don't think
He's
I
2 years.
ever. Yeah, I don't think I've ever told you he was a new father 2 years ago. I think I may mention he has a son, but I don't think I've ever said that he was a new father. Even I
2 years
maybe.
is plenty of time to forget, though.
Hmm?
2 years is plenty of time to forget, like what we had been talking about.
I mean, that's true. I just don't. I mean, I don't remember a lot of what happened. I mean, 2 years ago, it's like we're looking at 2022. I was still complaining about my old job. Okay, enough. So I just checked the podcast playlist. Like we had 166 episodes, but because I said before, I haven't been keeping up with putting the playlist. I mean, keeping the playlist up to date. So I have episodes on my channel that are not in the playlist. I don't know how many like episodes I have that are not in the playlist. I need to go check that out. I got so much stuff going on that I'm trying to get uploaded in my channel. My Elden Ring series is like I'm kind of, even though I'm releasing episodes from like 2 months ago, I think now, maybe even less, but I need to I still got episodes on my computer. I need to get uploaded on there. And I've been very slow about doing that, but that thing's gonna run into 2025 for sure. We haven't even talked about anime yet, and we can get into that right now actually because we're like almost an hour in. Like usual, I think we're back to the usual with me now.
Oh, thanks, XLG. I like this guy. You should make him a moderator.
He already is. He has the power to do pretty much anything, and that I think I've given moderators power to do. He just doesn't use it.
Can I kick him?
Probably if you have mod
I don't
power.
know.
I don't know if you have mod power.
I have mod power.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I guess you could.
You forgot that you made me a moderator? You did it like a month ago.
A month ago?
And not that long ago, yeah.
I mean, I think I have the strangest feeling that I gave you mod powers. I guess I just don't think about it because you don't. Again, you XLG, I think it's nature. The people that I've given mod power don't really use mod power.
Who am I going to use it on except XLG?
I mean, you just answered your own question.
You have that other guy, Red something that comes in, Red Avenger or something?
He's not Red Adventure anymore. He's Nature Avenger.
Nature Avenger. That's like that. Nature Avenger and XLG are the only two people that I think I've seen visit your stream except for Eliza Bar.
He comes in for Elden Ring, and unfortunately, I think he'll be disappointed for the month. Well, no, he'll probably be busy with his own Feartober business. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I managed to get the dragon fight in last Friday. It was the last thing I did before having to stop to take pictures of ghosts next week.
I don't know, XLG. You noticed that too? He likes to talk.
When it's subjects that I can talk about, yes. When it's not, when I don't have anything to say about it, I can be quiet.
When
You do not
when you
see
get
me yet
started,
in my job. I'm like probably the quietest person in there.
when you get started, it's on.
Yeah, no, I realized that I know you're just poking fun, but also like I'm well aware of this information. I don't need to be told over and over again.
XLG, there was one time when I was on a podcast with him, and he was going on about something, and I left the room without telling him I left. Went to the bathroom, made a sandwich, got myself a drink, came back and sat down, ate half the sandwich, still hadn't said anything, and he was still going.
There's no way that's true. There's no way that's true. You're exaggerating.
You can't prove that it's not, though, can you? In the back of your mind, you're wondering if that really happened.
No, get out of my brain. This is not that is not your playhouse. The worst part is I can't prove that, but also the worst part is he can say all this and get away with it, and I'll never be able to figure unless I ask his wife. But I rarely talk with her like outside podcasting. And actually, I've rarely talked to her in the last couple of years now because we haven't really been as a group. We haven't really been meeting up over the Discord that still exists.
Yeah, I know. I keep meaning to do a game night again. We keep not getting around to it. It's just at the end of it, like the only people that were coming was Digi. Digi would come every single time, and nobody else would show up.
Yeah, I feel bad for that because I actually was trying to make that a thing. And funny enough, I'm like at first it was because I was doing Mario Kart related things on Fridays with the other group that the Discord that I invited you to be a part of. We're no longer doing Mario Kart anymore.
The Discord that you loved more than me.
I don't know, how dare you? Like I made sure Mondays always happened. You were the one that made every other Monday not happen. I made sure Mondays happened. That I made sure, and then not that I don't enjoy it. This is not the point I'm trying to get across. But it's like love more than you. I made sure, like, because I like them. I could probably not play Mario Kart like with them for a bit, and we haven't for a long time. And part of it is me just there's a guy there that I'm not the most fond of, and that was a recent development. I think this year actually, the recent development this year. Was this Saturday? I don't even remember.
It was probably Saturday.
Okay, really quick because like we're like this is devolving into a talk podcast, which I mean at some point this really is what this is. But I like to interject the anime in here just for content sake. So we'll just talk about this mainly because I got things I want to say, and I know Jock could care less about this episode, which is probably what's really going on here.
What, Endeavor? I love Endeavor.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Endeavor is my favorite character.
So the entire episode of My Hero Academia, season 7, episode 19, I Am Here. Ironically, it's
Aw, we love you too, XLG.
yeah, you too. Just don't stop getting sick. That's basically all I ask. I know I'm asking a lot, but please. But I'm gonna keep you to that. I would say there's video evidence of you saying that, but there ain't. This isn't the slide that I have the chat showing. I should probably look at doing that for the podcast, maybe, but I haven't really. I was like, what purpose would chat showing up in the podcast really like provide? But we'll see. Um, episode is I Am Here, and ironically, we only have like a few seconds of All Might.
If that, it's like a silhouette almost at the end.
No, we see him physically with like All for One chasing and charging him down as bait, and then the suitcase opens like Iron Man, and then that's about it.
I was thinking Iron Man 2 because Iron Man used to keep his suit in the suitcase. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
In like Iron Man 2 or 1, 2.
Those two, because I mean, later on he literally started having the suit come to him.
Yeah, it's one of the evolutions. I didn't know you watched Marvel stuff.
I think I've told you I've done this. I watched Marvel stuff.
Oh, I'm
Maybe it
like,
hasn't come up in conversation a lot, but yeah, I watched a couple stuff. I mean, it wasn't like I haven't.
I didn't know that. We should do podcast review of some of the movies sometimes.
I don't know if I want to do that if I'm being real.
No,
I've already watched them once, like, and some of them I watched a couple times. But I was like, I don't know if I really want to go around and
oh no, not go through like when the new one comes up.
wait. What are you talking about?
Whenever a new one comes up, like we could do it.
Uh,
When a new
okay.
Marvel movie comes up.
I need to keep a lookout for a movie that I want to. I need to watch the Deadpool Wolverine thing. I haven't done it yet. I really want
I
to.
do too. I'm dying to watch it. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, though, is it?
No, but I think it's gonna show up in Disney. I would think
Disney
Disney
Plus. I'm
Plus.
hoping so.
Like I haven't really been in my account in a while. I should probably look at that. I could look at that right now.
It's not there yet.
Okay. Yeah, I've been wanting to actually watch that. I guess we'll put a pin in that for later. What anime is showing up on here? What the hell? So I'm just now realizing there's some anime on here that I didn't even know this Disney Plus even had.
Deadpool and
Chainsaw
Wolverine will
Man's
be
on
on
here.
Disney Plus are on January 2025.
What? What date? What?
Deadpool and Wolverine is expected on Disney Plus around January 2025.
Well, that's very ambiguous. I can't even plan around that. Okay. I'll have to keep an eye on for that. I guess it did come out this year.
Yeah. Now I really want to watch the movie, and I wouldn't mind reviewing it. It'd be fun to argue about Marvel movies with you.
I don't know if like what. I don't really think I have a big stand on. Like I just enjoy the movie for the
Yeah, but I'm
most
sure
part.
the second I say something about like Pepper Potts or something, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I disagree with that."
No, not really.
I'm with you on everything.
I don't really have like a huge stance on like a lot of things. Like again, I think I just watch Marvel movies just to watch them at this point, or not at this point. Like I always have. Um, I don't think I had much to think since like the end of Endgame. I think. Yeah. So I've been meaning to go back and watch movies. Like I just haven't done it yet. So like, I mean, yeah, this would be a good opportunity to do so.
Yeah,
Maybe like podcast takes a break from anime and just reviews movies from Marvel.
it'd be fun.
Be funny to do, and then we just do it once a month, I guess. But speaking of anime, we got anime in front of us. Pretty much looking for a place to start. Because as much as I like this episode, I don't really remember like what I want to talk about first. Oh, I guess we could talk about like the apparently the continued trying to sabotage the floating coffin, and like one of All for One's cronies who apparently has electric abilities. I didn't realize this guy had electric abilities, but apparently he does, and he tries to short circuit um one of the I guess circuit breakers, but I think he does successfully until somebody comes in and stops him, I think. Like this guy, I think I remember him being somewhere in like the city earlier, like in the earlier this season. And I completely forgot about Uraraka's like mentor, Gunhead. I wonder what his quirk is. I think he said what his quirk was. Wasn't it? I guess was it just guns? I'm asking you if you remember, but I guess maybe not.
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
No, no problem. I guess he was only really.
Every time they, I think that they're tapped out of more like characters in reserve. Like they find a whole new set of characters, and now they're doing the characters that retired and dropped out when the heroes started getting a bad name, the ones that were just burned out.
I mean,
And
yeah,
it's just
I was. What's his name?
gung ho guns. You knew that reference.
No, I actually don't. I just laughed because it was. I knew that you were trying to be funny there. Like, and it got me regardless.
Yeah,
Gung
I was
Ho.
I was referencing Trigun with the gung ho guns.
Was that the name of his weapon?
No, the gun ho guns were the characters that were trying to stop him that were sent by knives. Remember, there was like 9 of them or something like that, and Wolfwood became one of them.
I. That is weird. Cause I can only looking at it right now, at least a silhouette of all of them. I only recognize the knives a little bit.
The saxophone guy was one of the gung ho guns.
Was there an episode dedicated to each one of them being defeated by Vash, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh wow, there's members that only appeared in the manga. Huh. Wait, Trigun had a video game. When was this? 2002 on the PlayStation 2. Huh. Oh, they didn't have there was some like there was a game for Trigun, but there was some footage of it, but nothing came of it. That's sad. I'm still seeing commercials for Dan the Dan. Man, I really wish I remembered the Go Guns. The name just made me laugh. That's really how I laughed, but group of assassins by knives led by Legato to cause great pain to Vash. Each one is human. I do remember the knives was trying to torment Vash, though I do remember. Man, I really freaking wish this show had a lot more of an impact on me than it did.
Trigun?
Yeah.
Why
It,
didn't it?
I don't really know. I think like again. I think I said before, like back when it was on TV, because I think that's the run I watched that I think you recommended because it was the only run at the time. But again, it was during that period in my life where it was nothing but Dragon Ball, and whatever else I was probably fixated on at the time. But I think for the time being, when Dragon Ball was running, that was like the thing I was interested in the most. I barely
I thought
watched
you
it.
went, I
Hmm?
thought you went back and watched it again, though.
No, I didn't go back and rewatch it. I think I said that I was probably going to at some point, maybe. Like I wasn't gonna rule it out that I wasn't gonna rewatch it. But
Trigun is like a top 3 anime for me.
is Kino number one?
Yeah.
So what's number two?
Number 2 is Trigun.
He's the top three, so I assumed maybe it was number three. Okay. Wait, so what?
No, number 3 might be like Read or Die. Or no,
Which you?
probably number 3 is probably more Abito.
Oh yeah, Morabito.
That's a good anime.
That was a strange anime. Again, another one that didn't. No, I wouldn't say it didn't have an impact on me. I guess I gotta say before I like, try, let's try again. Maybe I should like redact what I said about like it not having an impact on me. It's one of those like I watched it and it wasn't like I didn't enjoy it, but I guess like, there's a lot of anime for me sometimes that I store it and I never really think back on, and it's not because the show wasn't good. It was just one of those like I enjoyed what they did. If like there was ever a season two or a continuation and whatnot, and from what I remember, there was no way to continue past what they did for Trigun, because Vash like not died, but like I think he's like his character's in a place where I don't think there's a reason to continue it past what he's already done. But yeah, like it was a season two, maybe I would have like. But again, like I feel like too is like for me, it didn't. I wasn't watching it at a point where it was able to impact me in a way that I think would have been meaningful. Considering that I know I have a past with Trigun, but it's not like it's a past that I know that it was running on Toonami back in the day, and I remember seeing his character everywhere to an extent.
I
It
think
was
part of it is that you had to watch the episodes all in order and like be kind of dedicated to it to really get the full impact. If you were watching just random episodes when you got around to it, like you wouldn't really get the impact of the anime that you get watching it properly.
I guess that would be true to an extent. I don't know, like I mean, like I feel like it shouldn't matter. I guess to say like it had an impact on me, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
like the
very like
biggest impact in the world that maybe I was expecting, and I probably didn't get it, and probably shouldn't have expected from that show.
Trigun had like a lot of like very carefully put together reveals that I think would be very easy to ruin if you were like if you weren't being like totally like absorbed in the show. You know what I mean? Like it really needs you to be totally absorbed in the show for it to work.
Like again, I'm not saying it's bad. Like that's totally not what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it's. I mean, and I actually do mean this. It's a good show. But anybody who hasn't watched it and probably wants to watch it, like go right ahead. I'm just sad I kind of missed the boat when I was younger. When it probably could have made way more of an impact and made me like a cult fan. I don't even want to call it a cult fan, but like just like I could definitely see where like where the love that was paid attention, and for the things I am remembering, which I am remembering very little of it, but at the same time, I was like I think maybe those parts are what why I remember this. Maybe they made more of an impact on me in general than maybe the villains did, because I definitely did enjoy Vash's character. The silliness to the seriousness that he was able to pull off, like not many shows can keep me in there, and also have silly and serious going on. I already kind of made my point with One Punch Man.
One Punch Man, I don't know why, but the second season didn't pull me in. I was really into the first season.
I thought you were gonna watch one. I thought you were gonna watch season three, and I thought it already came out.
I watched season one and I loved it. Like I really loved it, and I watched the whole thing. And then I started watching season two, and I couldn't get into it.
Also,
I was
are you
really
saying you
excited
done?
for it.
Oh,
I wanted to like season two too. Like I was really into it and ready to go, but I couldn't get into it.
was there any particular reason why you couldn't get into season two? Was it missing something? Before we come back to My Hero Academia here, real quick, because we keep trailing off.
I think it was just like I wanted more from it, and it wasn't like what was there was not providing more at all. Like it just like what they were doing with the new season, like I just like fell really flat for me.
I mean, people really loved season two without aesthetic, which is why this season people really wanted a season three. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's fine if somebody else likes it. I didn't hate it or anything. I was just sad because like I was like I really wanted to be into it, and like I was excited that it came out, and I was ready to like be excited about more of it. You know what I mean? And then I watched like 3 episodes, and I was just like, this is just, I can't get into this, and I really want to, but I can't.
But say, can you articulate what the reason is? Like, I mean, it's got to be something
There
that.
was just nothing special about it to me. There was nothing like special or like good enough. It wasn't good enough. It was just like watching a sequel of like not as good as it used to be. One Punch Man. It was like more the same, but like not good enough.
I'm still like struggling to see. I guess what like, but then again, I can't because like again, like I've already said this over and over again, and I beat this horse. I keep on reviving it and beating the horse over again. But it's like, I mean, okay, I'm not sure what really what I guess what you were expecting when it was trying to, I guess, reclaim the same. Maybe it was trying to reclaim the same like feel of the first season, maybe because there's a good
Yeah,
chance that maybe season one and season two they were so far apart with the release that they wanted to make sure that they bring the old fans back in. But apparently, what that's done is push you away. But for me, it's just that I don't know. Like it's one of those like I feel like I can take silly art style, but I guess for me it's just because like One Punch Man Saitama was so he was just weirdly drawn, and I don't know, and it's not, and I don't, it's not like I hate bald characters. I like Krillin a lot, but it's like it's just the way he was drawn. He like and I get that he's like not serious because that's what his character's like. It's kind of the same thing with this main character in Mashal. Um, Kind of the same like energy that comes off of him is that he's not really all that serious, and he's kind of serious, but he's also not that serious at the same time. But you had something to say? Sorry,
no, I'm just listening to you.
we had something to say. I think it was very. I think he had a point to make.
I made no sound. No sound came from my mouth. No indication of anything.
No, I think he really did. I think, but okay.
Oh my gosh. I
Okay.
was sitting rigid still. Rigid still. Not my eyes didn't even move.
I think pressure heard your eyes gloss over, but we're just gonna move
That's another way of putting it.
on. But I guess again we keep derailing it. It's not even XLG's fault. Uh,
It's let's just blame XLG anyway. I don't even know if they hear any. I don't know if they're here to hear that or not, but I think it's best and easiest to blame XLG.
I'm gonna let you ride that horse into the sunset. But you mentioned wait, is it Gunhand? I forgot his name, but yeah, like you mentioned that like they pulled this guy who was in retirement. That he's been hanging around somewhere. And I guess it makes sense that he would be in the in the safe zone, kind of just being there because he's a civilian now. But yeah, it's interesting. I wasn't expecting him to come back. I mean, when he came back, I was shocked. I was like, this dude, he left like a couple of seasons ago. Like this, I think he left after the stuff that happened in this. I forgot the name of the city where like All For One and then All Might had their fight. I think that's when he left. At least I think that's when he left. I don't really remember really exactly when he left. But like with this guy, he makes a mention of like back when the first episode when he first met Izuku Midori and he ran in to try to help Bakugo back then, and he was like, he could have killed himself. And Bakugo, I think Deku must have told him that he didn't know he didn't know what to do. His body just moved on its own, and then he just like my body moved on its own. He's like, I guess he finally understands what Deku was going through.
He can't. Yeah, he can't help but be a hero. He's a hero because he's a hero.
But guess with that, and like you're wondering what they're gonna like, I guess do next, and all the problems that's going on. The heroes are like backed in the corner, as we've already been stated, and Spear has made sure to let us make sure we remember that the heroes are really on like they're being backed into a corner here. Um, you see that the policemen, apparently the ones that are at the computers here, are like all panicking. But what's to do next? All the heroes that possibly could help are all either injured, tired, or dead. Uh, and
They
they're
don't
all
mention,
hmm,
but we know that that's on the list.
what?
They don't mention dead, but we know it's on the list.
I mean, I would assume maybe just some that have died at this point. But you never know. I mean, there's a lot of fodder heroes out there. I hate to call them fodder heroes, but you know. But then, like, one guy brings up that something's going on with Dobby, and apparently Dobby, and I didn't know this is what he's been doing the entire time with that X-shaped fire brand on his chest, but he's been charging his fire quirk to explode. Apparently, he's planning to cause a higher pressure explosion, and he's gonna pretty much, take out a good like chunk of the surrounding area that apparently, ironically, has Endeavor, Shoto, and his mother and his sister and his other brother in the vicinity.
Hmm. They're
Yeah.
really starting to dig deep to find another hero to get involved.
I mean, yeah, they're panicking that they don't have anybody because, like, and then as this is going on, I think we shoot back to Ida. Well, no, we see, like Shoto's parents, well, show his mother and his siblings. Oh, speaking of which, I just want to bring this up. Last episode I made a mention that they made canon in the show some characters from the movies. Apparently, they weren't included in the manga, but I know that the creators said that those did actually happen and they were canon and whatnot. But that I made mention that there was a movie that we haven't seen yet, and there was a character in those two boys that we saw were apparently from that movie. At least that was my assumption. I was wrong, but I wasn't wrong that there were two characters in there that actually were a part of that movie that we haven't seen yet. Um, you remember I had I'm not sure if maybe I didn't like I make a big deal of that too much, but there was a woman and a guy looking at like a monitor of the fight what's going on, but they looked out of place. At least to me, I made note that they looked out of place, but I wasn't sure like where I seen them from. I don't even know if I've seen them before, but I don't know how I picked them out like that. But because they didn't look like to fit in with everybody else. Apparently, those two, the man and woman, that were standing together looking at the fight on the mega screen, they're from that movie. I didn't realize who. I mean, I couldn't. I need to go back to the episode and try to pick them out. But there was a guy with a ponytail and a blonde girl. Like I think they showed up like after I want to say they showed up after a scene with like the guy from the third movie. Was that their movie? I think it was their movie. The guy with the bird quirk and whatnot, like the siblings he had. That after that scene, that's when you saw them down there. But like it was just sudden. Like they just showed up for a scene and then disappeared. I remember looking at them and thinking like, have I seen them before? Because that's kind of strange. But yeah. Apparently they included characters from the movie that hasn't we haven't seen yet. That I don't think is supposed to be canon, but they decided to include them in there anyway. And apparently that made waves on like anime websites and news reporting sites and stuff like that. I just thought that was kind of interesting. They decided to do that.
Right.
But I just want to see really quick. Oh yeah, and then we were seeing as they're reporting what's going on with Dobby because Dobby's going to blow up. They have a tracker on All for One. I don't even know how they're tracking him like that, but they are. They're tracking All for One, who's heading for like the effective mud warp range. I guess All for One's going to get in there and he's going to
What does
teleport.
mud warp mean?
It's that nasty little teleporting quirk that he used season 2 or was it 3?
So what is the mud warp range? What is?
Yeah, that's just like the range he's capable of using that warping ability.
Okay.
Apparently, it's not as effective as like Kurogiri, who can I guess warp you anywhere.
Right. But who's doing the mud warp?
All
The
for
other
one, because
person.
he's the one that has it.
He's flying into the area that they're calling the mud warp range, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he can warp. I don't think he can use that warp unless he's in that range. Because they say mud warp effective range. So it seems
Why
like
is
it's only
that?
effective within his range. At least where he wants to warp is only effective within his range. I think I think the moment the minute he enters this range, he's able to use the Mud Warp to get to Shigaraki. Because also when makes mention of it before you even called it out, that he said something about Mud Warping and how he wishes that he had Kurogiri use the warp on him. I guess I'm not completely understanding the question. I guess it's basically maybe you could.
The circle is the mud warp range,
Uh-huh.
and he's not in the mud warp range, but he's the one that uses mud warp. So wouldn't the circle, like, wouldn't he always be the center of the circle of mud warp range? If you're the user of the mud warp range, you should always be in the center of that mud warp range.
Not really, because like if you're trying to warp to something if your target is like, because you're trying to warp to your target, you're not trying to like warp the target out to you. I wonder, hold up, if I can look up mud warp without actually.
Spoiling something. But that's what I didn't understand about that moment. Because they said he's coming in a mud warp range, but I didn't know what that meant. I'm assuming that when he gets in that range, he can use his mud warp to do something that they don't want him to do, like go to Dobby or something, or get to the coffin in the sky.
Let's see here. This quirk allows the user to produce a black ooze like liquid from the other people's mouths. The black liquid envelops the person's entire body and acts as a warping portal, vanishing along target before reappearing at a different location. It is possible to create separate portals to warp multiple people at once. The black liquid apparently has a horrid smell. Warping utilizes specific people as a destination, unlike Warpgate, which uses coordinates. So like Shigaraki is in the warp destination, and he's the target. And the warp only works by letting the person warp to the target versus using coordinates, which apparently that's what Kurogiri's quirk does.
Could you say that again?
So pretty much Mud Warp only works like he's only able to warp to a person if that person is the target. He's only able to target a person with mud warping. So basically, the mud warp range is literally the person in the middle, and then there's a range of like how far he needs to be able to warp directly to them. So like unlike Kurogiri, who apparently he just needs to know where you want him to send you. Kurogiri just needs to know where he needs to send you. Basically, if he knows the coordinates, he can just send you there immediately. It doesn't seem like it depends on the person being there. So basically, if you're in China and you want to warp to Poland for some reason, like you don't need the person there to act as an anchor. He just needs to know specific X and Y coordinates, and he can just drop you there without anybody being there. Unfortunately, Mud Warp apparently depends on an actual physical person as an anchor. So the effective range is just like how far you need to be from that anchor to be able to teleport to it.
So when he gets in a range, who is he? What person is he in range of?
I think he's trying to get, because he was racing to Shigaraki, like you said. I
So
believe it's Shigaraki that's the anchor.
that must be the floating coffin then, or the coffin in the sky.
Well, that's the thing. They're not in the floating coffin anymore. Deku pushed him out onto the floor, into like the land below.
All right, but they're still pretty close to it.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so that must be where Deku and Shigaraki are, and they're trying to keep him from getting to the point where you can just get there and then warp over.
At least that
That
was
makes
my like understanding. Here it is. Like this is a weakness. This is a weakness. Apparently, the user is limited to either bringing targets to the current location or sending them away from their current location. Furthermore, the user can only teleport people they are sufficiently acquainted with, or people who are at least standing close to someone they are sufficiently acquainted with, as was the case when 0 for 1 was able to use Quirk to warp Bakugo to his location. Wait, when did he do that? Oh yeah, he did use that on Bakugo, didn't he? The warping distance of this power is shorter than that of Warp Gate, only able to be activated if the target is within a certain range. The user is also unable to warp themselves using it. Wait, so if you were to get in the effective range, he's just gonna move Shigaraki to him? Now I'm a little confused actually, because I thought he was like the person to, like, for whatever reason, Mud Warp is just, he can get if there's a person somewhere, you can teleport to them.
Mhm.
And according to them, because that's the only reason I can understand is because, like he said, Kurogiri just needs to know where you want him to put you, and that's it. Like, he just teleports you straight to them. Because Kurogiri never needs to rely on somebody being in an area.
This is being a little bit petty, but if you look at the arrow and the trajectory, he's flying over to get into the mud zone. He's flying over water,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to fly over water until he's well within the mud zone. But when All Might goes out to stop him, it's like he's flying over a city, which makes no sense because All Might would have to be out in the water to stop him. If you're looking for a time signature for All Might stopping him, it's like 9:01. Or an 8:48 might be better. He's out in like kind of a city area, but he's definitely on solid ground.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, based on where, like, what he's facing, it's possible that there's like some body of water somewhere to the east or west of him, and it's possible that he just happens to be at the exact spot where he knows All For One's where he's gonna show up. Because you were really gonna be nitpicky. There's no
In the
way.
map, in the map, All For One was flying nowhere near land. He
No,
was
there
miles.
was land by him.
Yeah, but I would say on a map perspective, that was miles away. He was really far away from land.
I mean, again, as you're right, that is being picky.
I'm being a little petty with it, but he's not flying over land.
Basically, to talk about really quick, because All Might's little scene is again is a little scene, but like, they're all panicking about what they're gonna do because All For One's getting close to Shigaraki. Things are going pretty much to hell in a handbasket, and All Might calls in because, like, Todoroki and Ida are like walking. I guess it seems like Todoroki wants to, Shoto wants to get to where his brother is, and then All Might, kind of just gives, like, Shoto and Ida a push that they need to be able to, they're the only ones that are capable of getting to, where Dabi is fast enough. Later on, we kind of see apparently, like, he was trying to tell them, I guess, Shoto to make an ice jet, projection over Ida that would allow them to keep moving really fast, and it was actually kind of clever. Unfortunately, it kind of like burned Ida's armor off his body. It's gotta suck. Uh, that happens much later, but it was kind of interesting to see that those two work together, like and work together effectively in that way. It was actually kind of cool. Like that was Ida's one and only time to shine, and after that, his like engine parts are all burnt to dust. I'm like, man, that's gonna hurt him later, probably. But you see, like All Might's got a plan. Apparently, he's gonna go meet, One for All over the city. That Spirit brings up that he wasn't over the city on the map.
He takes a quick detour to go beat up All Might.
That's probably what I mean. Again, it's like All Might kind of just says about like really well too many words. It's like he knows that like if he puts himself in front of All for One wouldn't be able to resist trying to kill him. And I mean, when you really think, but it's kind of true. Like All Might, like I said, this unit text, like All Might's really the only real weakness All for One has. And, I mean, and there's not even really a real meaningful weakness right now for All Might that he poses for him. Because again, yes, All for One is in his prime, but like I mean, All for One's also reverting back to nothing. So like All Might has to do, and I'm pretty sure he's capable of it. It's just keeping All for One busy and keeping All for One from realizing that he's being, that he's making a mistake. Which again, I know that's gonna be hard to do, considering All for One's got all these contingencies in place, but I highly doubt All for One saw a chance to get back at his old rival, at this day and age. Considering that he used his trump card, which is gonna kill him in the long run anyway. Like speaking of trump cards, it looks like All Might's got his own trump card, I guess, in the form of an Iron Man suitcase. Can I get like an image of like the suitcase? Because like I think All Might was holding on to this suitcase when he was like chasing Midoriya, I think. Even Sakuchi, like, how are you planning on fighting him when you're quirkless? This is a really weird image of like All Might. Like his face is like conial, I guess is the best way to put it.
Conical.
Yeah, conical. And he's like thinking, I guess, thinking back to all, Deku asking, can he be a hero quirkless? I think at the time All Might said that no, you couldn't, and look at All Might now. Oh, geez, look at that face. That is a that is a, that is a post cum face.
932 is about when the suitcase is like
Oh,
turning into something.
that is a disturbing face. Like I know All for One mentioned earlier. I think it was like last episode where he says that like some of his old tendencies are coming back. I think it's what he said, or it was something to do with his young age apparently coming through. His inability to control, I guess, some things that he had, I guess, going on when he was younger. This must be part of that because that is literally like I'm gonna kill you. Like that is not a face that you should be trying to put yourself in front of. You said nine what?
932.
This is like this is weird. It's almost got like a launch pad aesthetic going on with it, but I don't know what he'd be launching. I thought he had that suitcase back when he was chasing Deku down, but maybe I'm wrong. It's also could just be one of those, like, again, like maybe it's some power he's been holding on to in case he needed to use it, and because All for One's poison is posing a problem, and I'm pretty sure, like we can agree that Deku could not fight Shigaraki and All for One at the same time. There's just no way because All for One's gonna make it difficult. Uh, All Might, who knows what he's capable of? I don't know. Again, I'm still like counting on All Might. First of all, the physical difficulties All Might's gonna have trying to, go up against his old rival. Um, All for One might slip up because he's trying to destroy his old rival at this point. Again, that face tells me that he's definitely not going to be thinking what his next moves are going to be. He's just going to immediately act. But that suitcase might just be a one-time use thing. Who knows? Maybe they've managed to do. It'd be really weird if they did that, but maybe they found a way to use Ares' quirk in the form of um some armor. Maybe, I don't know. I'm saying a lot of words that I have no real way to prove.
Just a little bit.
I'm saying a lot of words. This is the English language. Welcome to America. But I don't know. This glowing. There is a glowing green or blue. Well, that's mostly blue. Maybe sky blue. But there's something glowing in that suitcase. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's probably just to make it look cool.
That'd be really the weirdest things. This looks like the Dark Knight suit a little bit. It's got that Batman vibe, which is kind of strange. Now I'm actually looking at it. Yeah, because it's consistently changing. It's getting more and more wide, almost like it's meant to be a gun of some sort. And I had assumed that's what it was a gun. But I don't know what All Might be trying to do with a gun, out here by himself. So it's got to be more than that. I expected that to latch onto his arm and start forming some type of armor, but it didn't do any of that. At least not. No, never mind. Take that back. Jeez, what is going on? This is like some Sword Art Online stuff.
It's like blowing up his shirt.
That's just the wind. Oh no, it's going up his arm now. I was like, did it glow? It definitely did. This is the size of this thing is it's almost as big as what All Might when he was in his buff form would be able to hold. It must not be that heavy. I don't know what he's doing with that briefcase, but I guess we'll find out next episode. I guess no, not next episode because next episode's or Raka.
Willy Wonka level of glee and mania going on there.
Well, he is here, as it says right here.
He's definitely there. I don't know if he's all there.
No, I think he's all there. I think if you want to question who's not all there, I don't think All for One's all there.
Yeah, I don't think he's all there, but he's definitely here.
I mean, I think All Might's all there. All for One ain't. Though they both had the creepiest grin on their face, but I'm pretty sure, again, I said this to you, I'm pretty sure All for One really wants to kill All Might. And I'm pretty sure All Might wants another chance at fighting him anyway, so who knows what's going on with these people. I think for real, maybe All Might's realizing that he's the only person that can stop him, just on a conceptual level. He's the only one that he'd probably stop for.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely good bait.
On a very conceptual level, it makes sense.
When it comes to this guy, he's the master of bait.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. And I know you know what you did there. It was totally on purpose of wordplay there.
Well, he's the top hero, so he's the master, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's bait.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who she's supposed to be a fan of, Mushroom Girl?
I guess so.
And the next bit.
Those are flowers coming out of her head, not mushrooms, though.
But I know. I was just saying, flowers are the closest thing to a mushroom, kind of. They grow in the ground and naturally, nature.
Flowers grow in the ground. Nothing gets past you today, man.
And then we move on to the next bit, which I think is the rest of the episode. Yeah, which is like the rest of the episode is essentially Endeavor,
Oh, but we're almost out of time. Do you think we really have time to talk about this?
let's hear you. I can get through this in 8 minutes. Again, we're doing this again, but like Endeavor is like the main focus of this episode, even though the episode's called I Am Here. They really should call this Burning Bright, but whatever. Uh, but basically we come back to Dobby, who's trying to blow up his father because he hates him. And Endeavor is trying to stop it. This entire episode is pretty much back and forth between Endeavor and his son Toya, and like pretty much just like this is the point where like Dobby is lost it. We're talking about people who've lost their mind. Dobby is like nothing but instinct right now because like as he's like facing his father, he's acting like he was when he was 5, maybe even 9. I forget what age he was, but he was first trying to show his father that he can do the flash fire fist. And Endeavor noticed this, and like I guess as he was realizing what has he done and whatnot, to his family, and like as he realized what's going to happen because Dobby is going to blow up, like he's going to go nuclear, literally on I don't know, I think it's like 600 meters or whatever from like around like it was a huge amount of like it was a huge amount of like land that Dobby was going to blow up, and a part of that apparently was covering the escape route for the civilians, which I'm surprised that he knew about. And apparently, the police were surprised that he knew about too, or it was just coincidence that that he was going to blow that up. I don't even know what like how am I supposed to take that because they gave two plausible explanations for that, which was strange. But I'm pretty sure maybe it was coincidence because I mean he was mostly focused on his father and Shota. But as like Davi is running on pure fire and flame and vigor and anger, um Endeavor pretty much grabs on and gives him like a bear hug and tries to lift him in the air as like he's realizing that he's gonna blow up. And as this is about to happen, and it seems like Dabi is about to release all the fire he's built up within his being, uh Ray, his wife, shows up and tries to help cool him down. Never realizes what's going on. He tries to get her to leave because like they're all gonna die. She'll die because apparently the heat of the flames that he's exuding, and then she's like, "But you're gonna die. The same thing is gonna happen to you and him." And like she doesn't want to leave, and apparently she ends up apologizing to Toya. Which is an interesting way to like I guess for this all to end is that every single one of them apologizes to Toya for like their part in what happened and whatnot, and ends with Endeavor crying and pretty much Endeavor's done. Like this is I hate to say it, but it's like maybe not really, but after this episode, Endeavor's done. Like I don't suspect that he'll be doing anymore after this 5-degree burns and whatnot, or whatever degree burns he has on him.
Pretty
But
cooked.
pretty much like they're like Ray's trying to help cool him down and it doesn't work. And as it seems like I guess all hope was lost, her children who she thought she had left in the city show up to help as well. And well, it was assumed that at least the daughter had ice powers. I was not aware that the son had ice powers, but yep, he has ice powers.
They
And
all had ice powers, which must have been so infuriating for Endeavor.
no, I highly doubt that he cares anymore. Um,
At some point, though, back in the day, like when this was all going on, he must have been pretty infuriated that like everybody, he kept trying to find like a successor, and everybody's like, I got ice powers, I got ice powers.
well, it seemed like Toya was gonna be the successor, and then like he died, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Because because he was trying to get Shota, but like Toya wasn't really Shota. Like he didn't have like ice. Though I will say, actually, on that note, there's a scene where like Endeavor's having a monologue, and he realizes that for whatever reason, Toya has like an ice like core for some strange reason, and he just blatantly says Ray's quirk, and I'm like, wait, so does Toya have ice powers? Like that is strange, right? Like suddenly like apparently he must have had this ice core the entire time. You know what I'm talking about?
no.
A minute.
Which character has the ice powers?
Toya, like Toya, Dabi might have ice powers.
Oh, Dobby.
Yeah,
Dobby doesn't have ice powers, does he?
there was a moment where Endeavor notices that Dabi has an ice core for some reason.
Oh, I thought that was created by them.
No, apparently not, because like he said that was not supposed to be there.
I missed that in the episode.
Because he's on about like when quirks reach a certain point, they awaken more powers within him. It's like it seems like at least to him, it seems like Dabi might have had ice powers the entire time. Gotta find it. Oh, this is it. Gotta find out. Because there's some talking on the internet going on that Dabi might have had ice powers, apparently. Or some part of like his mother's quirk within him. Maybe not like something, not enough to exude ice, but maybe. Shoot, don't do that. No, I didn't imagine it. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was supposed to, maybe it manifested when it, like, maybe Ray had been there the entire time. He just took him forever to realize that Ray was there. Cause that didn't grow. It just showed up. Like, yeah, wait a minute. It's definitely not melting. It's definitely not growing. Has this moment about he needs to make it up to Toya. He also has a moment here where he says like, and I think he made mention this earlier on, back when he was trying to atone for what he was doing. That why does he seem like he needs to separate himself from it all when he was trying to make it up? And I guess he realizes that he probably he realizes what you were already saying that he maybe shouldn't do that, at least not yet. So I guess that ice core was just there the entire time for some unknown reason, and I guess it just showed itself now. I'm guessing maybe that's why Dabi was able to live for so long. But it kind of makes me wonder, as like, well, I mean, Dabi had like a secret part of his father's quirk within him, his mother's quirk within him. Maybe they do too. But I don't know. But it seems kind of weird that they brought attention to the fact that Dabi had an ice core. I was like, that doesn't seem like something to be important for anything. Maybe it will for later. Who knows? Because we could have went on, we could have went on the entire episode about that information because that didn't seem to improve anything. Now I'm thinking about it, like we just found out that he has ice in his chest cavity for some reason. And it doesn't seem like it's from his mother. Stepping in.
Yeah, I wish I'd paid more attention to that part of the episode because this is like really like taking me off guard.
I mean, it's no problem. I don't know what that's supposed to be because like I mean, again, like as like he's everyone's going on a suicide mission. Dabi's trying to blow himself up, and apparently during all this, after his family comes in to save, just to say they're sorry, Dabi has a realization that he just wanted to be with his family the entire time, which is like, dude, that was the whole. I thought that was your whole issue here. They thought you were dead, and you weren't really, and they weren't looking for you. But apparently, that wasn't what was going on. He realized it at the last minute, and he wishes he had realized sooner. And there's like all this fire. He's slowly exploding, and he's burning his father's face with his flames. Like, by the way, like And he's burning his mother. Like these people got some burns. They're gonna have to heal. The entire family is gonna be burnt. And like, oh dear. It was like, and Shoto's gonna be like, you see, we all match now. Oh dang it, that was harsh. Oh dear, I sure hope that's not what happens. Um, but yeah, his mother, everybody apologizes. You know, their entire family apologizes for the part that he played. I guess it's not that crazy that they have like Fuyumi and Natsuo have like ice powers. I just didn't want to assume that he did because like why assume that until this show tells you. Look at the faces in this show. Look at Natsu's face. This entire episode has been the episode of the faces. Just a face off after face off.
That is quite an expression.
That is like, I have eaten too much Mexican food. It's like I've eaten too much Taco Bell. But see, really quick, like they have their moment, like as they're trying to, I guess, save Dobby from himself. To It's really weird. Like I wonder, is Toya supposed to be shorter than his younger brother? That's really weird. Is that just an accident of animation?
I assume not.
I'm not saying it's impossible for Natsu to be taller than him, but it just seems. Hmm?
Isn't Dever like 7.5 feet tall or what?
Well, compared to his wife.
Yeah, like his wife might as well be as like an infant child or something like height wise.
I mean, like I think isn't it like the normal like height for women like 5?
I don't know. Just she doesn't have to bend over to give a blowjob. That's all I'm saying.
I'm mad that's where you went with that.
You're what?
I'm mad that's where you went with that.
It's just convenient. That's all.
Moving on. I'm just gonna let that sit. I'm not gonna address it.
It's his wife. You think they don't have hot sex?
Crap, I don't have the badump chish on deck for this. Dang it. I gotta fix that. But yeah, like it's like a fiery explosion, and then as it seems like there's no way to stop it. We see somebody apparently coming in hot at like transsonic speed, which I was like, good lord. I'm not sure how fast transsonic speed is, but apparently they were going fast that they were being picked up by the radar. And lo and behold, it's Ida and Shoto on the ice jet, on the ice plane, the invisible plane. As Ida is like saying, "This is as far as I can take you." Shoto's like, "Don't worry," and he activates phosphor. Again, this continue with the continuity of the facial expressions. Like, Ida's about to eat pavement. Oh, speaking of characters, I don't even mention this too. Earlier back when Ida was, taking, Shoto on his back, there's a few seconds of Stain apparently hanging around. I was wondering where he was because like Stain's out of jail. And Stain's been like in the background somewhere, like running around, I guess, looking to see how the heroes are taking this.
That was who I saw. I thought that was Stain, but then I thought, no, it can't be Stain.
That was Stain. I saw him. Like, that was Stain.
I thought it looked exactly like Stain to me, but then I was like, no, that can't be Stain.
Why couldn't it have been Stain?
I don't know. I just didn't think it could be Stain. It was just too random to have him just like kind of chilling out.
Not really, because it seems like I think he was also like in the background before All Might was like I am here. I think he was up there somewhere. So I think maybe he's gonna be there to help All Might with All for One. I guess I don't know.
Right.
Because I mean, he was the one that gave All Might the push to go after Izuku and try to help. I mean, I guess it would be random, but I mean, like Stain has been one character who's been an outlier, like for the longest time. But yeah, Shoto comes in, charging in to pretty much like also Ida talking about like how like, because of you, I was able to become the person that I wanted to be. Like, and then he's like, you should too. And apparently, like Shoto did in fact write his mother letters. But I didn't know he did. But apparently, I think he was in his room when he was doing that. Shoto was saying that he made some friends and he's happy, I guess, with who he is now. Again, facial expressions. Good lord. You'd think that burn would have healed. I'm sorry, this entire episode is just facial expressions. As he's running in there and he sees what's going on, he's rushing in. Apparently, his family wasn't expecting him. He's like, it's Shoto, and he's like, he comes in and he just hits him with the Great Glacier Eiger, I think is what it is. And it completely encompasses the nuclear explosion, which is what that is at this point, and an ice orb, and it just dissipates everything. Surprisingly, like very quickly and quietly, it just like, woof, as it is, like, as the ice, like, geez. I don't know how cold that was, but it was definitely cold enough to nuke the nuclear explosion. And Shoto just surprises everybody and causes an ice age. What killed the dinosaurs? Shoto.
Oh my god. I don't have a Badoon Tish.
Well, me either, so we're in the same boat. This is a pretty good, like, I guess another character that's out for the count now is definitely Shoto, because like he used every bit that he had. I sure hope that that's not like a frozen solid arm. I mean, I sure hope it ain't.
He's out of this fight, but I don't think he's out of like the next fight. Like once he's had time to recover, he'll be back to, I think, 100%. I don't think he's going to lose any limbs or have any permanent damage. Maybe some scarring.
What next fight you talk about that he's gonna be a part of?
Well, he's going to continue to be a hero, right? There's going to be stuff that happens that he needs to be a hero about.
You mean in this war, or are you just talking about in life?
What? In this lore?
In this war, are you talking about in life?
In the lore. He's going to continue to be a hero. If the story continues and needs a hero, he'll be there. If the story doesn't continue, then it'll imply that he stays a hero.
I'm not saying he's gonna stop being hero work, but I'm saying I think he's like right now he's done everything he needed to do. Right now his part's played out. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do much beyond this. Who knows? Maybe he will. I mean, he came back and did this attack. Like, I mean, I guess it doesn't like he can get two great glaciers out of himself. Maybe a third one if he tried hard enough. But like I don't see Shoto doing more beyond this. I think he's done for right now, at least with this everything going on with everything going on right now. Wait a minute. I didn't see. Oh, I guess speaking of people, I guess another thing too is like it looked like like that everything went on with Endeavor and him being burnt nearly alive. Like I thought he was dead too, but I also thought Dobby was dead. But apparently I don't know what's keeping this man alive. He really should not be breathing. Wait, is Dobby missing? No, he's got his legs. Never mind.
Dobby is gone.
But he's alive.
Did he die at the end of the episode though?
No, he was there. I think Endeavor was just hugging him.
I thought he died because he was dying anyway.
Well, here's the thing, like, he should have already been dead to begin with. I don't know if he is gonna die. Though I would suspect that he would. I mean, like, right now, he burned his entire being up. He was trying to, Natsuko says he's freezing from the inside. And Natsu really doesn't look good either. I think nobody really looks good after this. I mean, Shota came in and, like, put out the fire, literally. Parents, like, at this point, like, as he's hugging, Toya, he starts apologizing to everybody. He apologizes to his daughter for putting her in this situation. He apologizes to Ray, who is out. That woman is passed out. Like, by pushing her into a corner. He apologizes to Natsu as well. And he just straight up says, "I'm sorry" to Shota. Shota looks like he's done for the day. He's got the, "I'm gonna sleep now."
I thought he was done for the day before this. He was like pretty much. Didn't he pass out the last time he encountered Dobby?
I don't think so.
He came really close to it.
I've been putting. He may have been having a hard time putting one leg before the other, but I don't think he was done. I think he said he wanted to. I think he was trying to go someplace else. So I can't really remember. Or maybe he wanted to go help out his father. I don't know. I mean, if he wasn't done then, he's done now. Like, he's got all the ice on his body. His face is just like, I'm gonna sleep for 2 weeks. It's basically the look he's got on his face. He just passes out. Like, yeah, he's just face in the dirt. And that goes into the episode. 60 minutes over.
Yeah, and then we see the preview of the next episode, which confirms that we will not be seeing the All Might fight.
Yeah, which makes me wonder is, like, maybe the next episode isn't the finale, because I still hold this belief that, and I held this belief too before, back when we saw All Might walking out the door. I was wondering how they're going to end this season, but, like, the best way, I think, in my opinion, would be the end of the season would be the All Might and All for One encounter, because, like, that's kind of how they ended a season before, is, with, like, All Might and All for One fighting. It would make sense.
But I think it should be about Deku. I think the finale should be about Deku and not All Might.
I mean, I think the finale is going to be about Deku and Shigaraki, but, like, we need to get rid of All for One for the time being, because he's a chess piece that should not be on the board.
Who is
All for One?
Yeah.
Like All for One's presence is dangerous in and of itself. Even before, like, the rewind quirk, he was a danger just existing. Man, that's a lot of twices. Wait, in the preview, aren't we seeing, like, the Twice clone thing, like, fading off of her at some point?
It's got to eventually. They found Uraraka will find Uraraka will find her in her Twice form, and I recognize that is the Twice that is the original one causing the problems. And then she's gonna have to, like, have an interaction with her. But that's what they're gonna have to solve in the next episode.
Well, I mean, the one thing about it, apparently, I think they said this before, maybe 2 episodes ago at this point, that Uraraka, because she's always, like, seeking out people in crowds that weren't smiling, because she was very good at seeking that out, like, she can tell where Toga is just based off of that. Because Toga's having a midlife crisis, even though she's probably only 19? Maybe? I know she's, like, young, like, in teenagers, so, like...
They're all, like, 14, 16 years old.
No, because Dabi's in his 20s, I think. And Shigaraki's definitely in his 20s. And Twice is an old man. I'm not even getting to the adults because you know they're adults. I find it interesting that we have the Dabi fight, and then after that, they're gonna, I guess, maybe they're gonna clean up the fight with the Toga. I'm guessing because they went a long time without addressing the Uraraka, Froppy, and Toga fight when they first had that happen when Deku had to leave. They went a long time without that, and I remember like thinking as we weren't going back to that fight, I was like, "What is going on? Why aren't we going back to the other fight? Like, there's another really important fight happening, and they're completely ignoring it." Really, I think Uraraka's gonna find out her true intentions. I wonder, was this when Toga left her parents after killing them? So she really didn't leave her parents. I mean, she killed her parents and then left.
Maybe.
Jesus, bit her index finger and made it bleed.
Yeah, she drinks her own blood when she can't get it from someone else. But it's nice to know she loves herself.
That's not what that means.
Because she only drinks the blood of those that she loves.
No, she's only able to use the powers of the ones that she loves. Or did she say that she drinks the blood of only the people that she loves? Oh, speaking of characters we haven't seen in a while. Mr. Compress, apparently. I've been thinking about him for a bit. I'm not sure where he's been. Wait, is he in jail? Because I think they caught him, right? I guess I'm getting that. I don't know. All right. Well, I guess with
Wait,
that.
you're saying that that's a jail that they're in?
No, I was just trying to figure out, like, because we haven't seen Mr. Compress in a while. I know where this is, because I mean, Twice is still alive.
Let me see.
And also, Dobby still got his hair and with the black dye and whatnot. Which, but he must got some really good black dye, because I feel like you have to re-dye your hair every now and then. I feel like it doesn't stay that color.
I can't get Crunchyroll to play this. There we go. So the Army of Twices. Uraraka focusing on that's seen as a flashback.
No, I'm aware. No, I'm just saying we haven't, like, as characters we haven't seen. It's just like it's kind of surprising we get a chance to see Compress again after so long.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. They still got some people in the reserves, don't they? Do you think we'll be able to see? Do you think we'll be able to see?
I mean, I don't remember where Twice. I mean, where Compress is because we haven't seen him in a while, and I'm trying to figure. I think they must have caught him because we haven't seen him in a while.
Not all the jails have been released, have they?
No, they were attacked, and a lot of them. I think the only jail that didn't have any breakouts was the one that General was in, because General stopped them. And I don't think Compress was in there because I think we would have seen him. It is possible that Compress might have gotten out. I don't know. The problem is if he were to gotten out, boy oh boy, like they wouldn't be able to stop him.
Yeah, they should stop Compress if they find him, but he almost seems irrelevant right now. Does did he lose both of his arms or just one?
I think he just lost one arm.
He's like the OG of lost limbs in this. Everybody's lost limbs now, but he was the first one to do it.
I mean, someone had to do it first before everybody else started doing it. Though, I mean, in Miracle's case, it was by force because, like, she needed to get out. again, I still say like, good lord, that woman, like, someone needs to give her a retirement and just give her full pay for the rest of her life. That woman's gonna be a
Mhm.
paraplegic. But I guess with that, we're gonna end here. Next week we're gonna be reading the next episode of My Hero Academia. I think we're also gonna throw in the start of the Rurouni Kenshin show because that comes out October 4th on a Friday. So it comes out like one day before the my next episode of My Hero Academia. Very excited for that one because I've been really excited to watch that. So we'll see you guys then, and we'll see how things run with that in terms of trying to run that alongside My Hero. I'm guessing My Hero doesn't got much more to run for this season, so I'm guessing there may be 2 episodes left. I'm thinking. So we will figure out what's gonna happen then. I will leave you on this very creepy image of Toga with the one eye showing and it, looking very feral.